Okay, let's get right into it. Have you ever had one of those amazing ideas for an app or a software tool, but then you get completely stuck in this tangled web of complexity and confusing tech talk and just, frankly, a lot of broken promises? Well, today we're going to slice right through all of that. We're going to talk about a totally new, way simpler way to build software that you actually truly own. This quote from the book Software Secrets Revealed just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? For way too long, the whole software world has basically tried to convince us that building things is this super mysterious, crazy expensive process that's only for, these genius level coders. But what if that's just not true anymore? So, if you've ever felt that deep frustration trying to make your idea a reality, maybe you've been quoted some astronomical price by a developer, or you got lost trying to piece together code snippets from an AI, or you just hit a hard wall with one of those no-code platforms. Yeah, this is for you. We get it. And believe me, there is a much, much better way. Right, so let's tackle the new kid on the block, AI. I mean, we've all heard the promise, right? Just tell the AI what you want and poof, it'll code it all for you. The problem is, for most people who aren't professional coders, this leads you straight into something the source calls the vibe coding trap. Does that sound familiar at all? You go to ChatGPT, you ask for your app, and it spits out this chunk of code, and you think, great, I'm done. But then what? Where does this code go? How do you even run it? And all of a sudden you're getting told to, just install Node.js or configure this database, and you're trying to fix errors you can't even begin to understand. It's a total frustration factory, and it leaves you with absolutely nothing but a massive headache. And this slide, wow, it lays out the difference perfectly. On the left, you've got that typical nightmare, this tangled mess of files, setups, and those sneaky monthly hosting costs that just keep adding up. But look at the right. It's a whole different world. No setup, no command line, no dependencies, and crucially, zero hosting costs, which for a new business is a total game changer for your bottom line. You get one single complete file. That's it, and you own it forever. Okay, so if the AI tools are a trap, what about the other big thing, the no-code platforms? They promise it's all just drag and drop simple, right? But they are hiding a very, very expensive secret. And that secret is the illusion of ownership. This says everything. When you build your app on a no-code platform, you're not actually creating a digital asset that belongs to you. You're basically just building on someone else's land. You're a digital tenant, completely at the mercy of your landlord. And here are the real-world consequences of being a tenant. If that platform decides to triple their prices tomorrow, you either pay up or you lose your entire business. If they just decide to shut down, your app is gone, vanished, overnight. You're completely locked in, you can't customize things the way you want, and you have zero control over your own creation. So, if the AI code generators are a trap and no-code platforms are basically just digital landlords, then what's the actual solution? Well, it's time for a major shift in how we think about building software. You see, for decades, the entire industry has been obsessed with finding the answer in more complex code, more libraries, more frameworks. But that's not it. That's not the real solution. And there it is, the big aha moment. The breakthrough isn't about the code inside the app. It's about the packaging of the app itself. It's about making the entire thing ridiculously simple, portable, and completely self-contained. Just look at this slide. This is the revolution in a picture. On the left, that's the chaotic reality of most software today. It's a fragile mess. But on the right, that's the entire app. One file. Simple, strong, and totally under your control. All that complexity with servers and external databases, it's replaced by using what's already built into the browser, like its own local storage for data. And this is what real ownership looks like. Your app doesn't need to call home to some central server to work. It's not held hostage by some special software. It means if you stop paying a subscription, or even if the platform that helped you build it disappears entirely, your apps just keep working. Forever. You have absolute freedom. Okay, I can practically hear the gears turning. A single HTML file? Come on, that sounds like it can only build like a basic calculator or a to-do list. Can something that simple really be powerful enough to build a real business on? That's the million-dollar question, right? We've all been taught to believe that power means complexity. But what if that's just another one of those lies we were talking about earlier? Oh, absolutely. And we're not talking about little toys here. We're talking about serious money-making tools. Think about things like interactive data dashboards for businesses, or complex quiz funnels to get leads, or even content generators that use AI. These are legit, valuable assets that you can actually sell. Now, it's also super important to be upfront about what this approach isn't for. You're not going to build a massive CRM or a full e-commerce store that needs complicated payment processing on a server. And you know what? That's not a bug, it's a feature. The power here comes from focusing on these client-side single-page apps that do one thing brilliantly, without all the baggage and cost of server-side stuff. So, you've built this awesome, powerful, single-file app that you own 100%. The next big question is, how do you turn it into actual money? Let's break down the playbook, because real ownership opens up some seriously profitable new strategies. The options here are huge. You could charge a monthly subscription, you could sell it as a one-time thing on a marketplace like Gumroad, or hey, even offer it for free and just run some ads. But the one strategy that really shows off the power of ownership is white labeling. That's where you sell the tool to other businesses and they get to rebrand it and sell it as their own. And look, this isn't just a theory. These are real products built with this single-file method that are selling for hundreds of dollars a pop. You build the app one time and you can sell rebranded copies of it over and over and over again. That's an incredibly powerful business model, and it's only possible when you have 100% ownership. All right, let's pull all this together. Think about it. The old way of doing things took months, sometimes years, and tens of thousands of dollars to create a software asset. This new way, it collapses that whole timeline from months down to minutes. And the process itself could not be easier. Step 1, you just describe what you want your app to do, in plain English. Step 2, the AI builds the complete working app for you, not just little pieces. Step 3, you test it, you ask for changes, you tweak it instantly. And step 4, when it's perfect, you download that one file. It's yours. Now go make some money with it. And let's look at one final solid example. This AI book writer tool, it's just a single HTML file, but it can generate entire 8,000-word ebooks. It was described in plain English, built by an AI in just a few minutes, and now it's being sold as a high-value product. The creator owns it completely with zero ongoing costs. That's the kind of power we're talking about here. So the old barriers are just gone. That big technical moat that used to protect the giant software companies and lock out everyday entrepreneurs, it's crumbling. The playing field is finally being leveled, and it's giving you the freedom to actually build and own your ideas. So the only real question left is, what are you going to create?